There was a time in my life when I felt completely stuck. I prayed, I worked hard, I did everything I thought I was supposed to, but nothing seemed to change. I kept giving my best, but every time I checked my bank account, it was like a harsh reminder of how far away I was from the life I envisioned. It left me wondering, is God even listening to me? But that season of doubt didn't last forever. I discovered a powerful truth that completely transformed the way I prayed, worked, and trusted God. And I want to share that same truth with you. My breakthrough starts with faith. Say it with me, write it in the comments, and claim it. My breakthrough starts with faith. The blessings God has for you are already lined up. They're just waiting for you to make a shift in how you approach them. If you're here right now, chances are you're tired. Tired of praying, fasting, going to church, and giving your best only to feel like nothing is changing. You've been doing everything you believe is right, but your financial situation is still stuck. You check your bank account nervously before making a purchase. You go to a job you don't love, and you feel like you're building someone else's dream while your own is put on hold. It's frustrating, and you're starting to wonder if God is even hearing you. But let me tell you something. The fact that you're reading this right now is no coincidence. Your prayers are being heard. You are not alone in this journey. And if you stick with me until the end, I believe you'll understand why your prayers haven't been answered in the way you expected. It might be challenging to hear, but it will be eye-opening. I want to share with you the powerful shifts I made in my life. These were the changes that took me from living paycheck to experiencing true financial freedom. And I promise you, what God did for me, He can do for you too. The key lies in understanding a few simple principles and shifting the way you approach both your prayers and your finances. One of the biggest changes I made was in how I prayed. Instead of praying for money, I started praying for opportunities. God doesn't work like a cosmic, but I want you to ask yourself this. Are you asking for the fruit when you should be asking for the seed? God, in His infinite wisdom, often gives us seeds rather than fully grown gardens. Why? Because He wants us to grow, to learn, and to cultivate what He gives us. He is too loving to hand us a garden if we don't yet have the skills to tend to it. Think about it. If God gave you everything you've been asking for right now, a massive financial windfall or instant success, would you be ready for it? Studies show that most lottery winners lose their fortunes within just a few years because they weren't prepared to manage what they received. God knows this. He doesn't want to set you up for failure. So instead, He gives you seeds, small opportunities that allow you to grow and build your capacity. Every paycheck you receive is a seed. The question is, what are you doing with it? Can you honestly say that you've honored God with your earnings? Have you been disciplined with your spending? Or have you allowed indulgences, dining out, shopping sprees, or unnecessary subscriptions to take precedence over good stewardship? It's not that these things are inherently wrong, but if you haven't been practicing discipline, then you're not nurturing the seeds God has already provided. Now is the time to shift your perspective. Start praying for the opportunities to grow and cultivate the blessings in your life. When you shift from asking for money to asking for opportunities, you open yourself to the kind of prosperity that doesn't just get handed to you, but that you earn and develop through God's guidance. Your breakthrough starts with faith. Step into this new understanding and trust that everything you need is already within your reach. Your financial freedom is not far away. It's already on its way, ready to be unlocked by the changes you make today. If you find yourself continually asking for more money, more opportunities, more blessings, but haven't yet been faithful with what you already have, you're essentially asking God to go against His own principles. The Bible teaches that faithfulness in small things leads to greater responsibility, and God won't break His own rules. So, instead of begging for more, try praying for the discipline to manage what you already have. Ask for the wisdom to be a better steward of your current resources. Seek opportunities to create income and pray for the insight to recognize and seize those moments when they appear. When you make this shift in your mindset and align your actions with God's principles, transformation will follow. God doesn't want to withhold blessings from you. He wants to prepare you for them. As you grow in discipline and faithfulness, you'll see the seeds He's placed in your life begin to flourish. Your finances will improve, not because of some cosmic shortcut, but because you're working in partnership with God, trusting His timing, and following His guidance. This is why I created the Financial Covenant, a step-by-step guide to building a pact with God to eliminate debt. I created it because I know the frustration of feeling stuck, of wondering if God is even hearing your prayers. This isn't just another financial program or quick fix. It's a blueprint rooted in biblical principles, designed to help you build a personalized covenant with God, reflecting your heart, your faith, and your commitment to break free from debt once and for all. If this message resonates with you, if you feel that pull in your spirit right now, don't ignore it. Sometimes the seed God places in your life doesn't look like the harvest you imagined. It might come in the form of an opportunity, a small step forward. This guide is that opportunity. It's your chance to align your financial life with God's promises and step into the abundance He's been preparing for you all along. By clicking the link, you're not just investing in a product. You're making an act of faith. Remember, the principle of sowing and reaping isn't just about money. It's about obedience, faithfulness, and trusting God's timing. Even if your financial situation feels tight right now, this is your moment to step out in faith and declare, God, I trust you with my breakthrough. When you click that link, you're entering into a process of transformation. You're partnering with God, honoring His principles, and witnessing how He moves in your life in ways you can't yet imagine. As you nurture the skills needed to walk into the opportunities God has prepared for you, the transformation will be undeniable. Imagine receiving a seed, nurturing it, and watching it grow. Soon, another seed will come your way, and you'll care for it as well. Before long, after a year or more, you'll look back and realize you've created a flourishing garden, one you're not only equipped to maintain, but one you can steward wisely. That garden becomes more than just a blessing for you. It becomes a legacy. You'll be able to share it and pass it down to future generations, along with the knowledge and skills you gain along the way. God isn't withholding blessings from us out of cruelty. He's preparing us for something far greater than we can imagine. Remember, God doesn't simply hand us wealth. He grants us the opportunity to create it. This is where my second prayer change came in. I stopped asking for clarity and started asking for courage. At first, I thought I needed more information, another book to read, another strategy to uncover, or another sign from God that I was on the right path. But what I truly needed wasn't clarity. I needed action. Many of us ask for clarity when, in truth, we already know what steps we need to take. What's missing is the courage to move forward. Clarity can sometimes mask procrastination, a way of avoiding action because we fear the unknown. What I realized is that answers often come through action. God orders our steps, but He can only guide us if we're moving. We often want God to reveal the entire plan up front, but that's not how faith works. If He showed us the full picture, we wouldn't need faith. We need nothing more than a roadmap. Sometimes, we may feel like we're not ready for the magnitude of what we're praying for, and in our hesitation, we might even sabotage our own progress. But in God's infinite wisdom, He gives us just enough light for the next step, urging us to trust Him fully. Faith isn't about knowing every detail ahead of time. It's about trusting Him with what's next. So, when you're seeking clarity, pause for a moment and ask yourself, do you truly need more information? Or is it time to take that first step, trusting God to reveal the rest as you go? One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that wealth isn't something we need to chase. It's a natural byproduct of solving problems and adding value to others' lives. This shift in perspective radically changed how I viewed income. Too many people limit themselves by thinking they only need a set amount, like $10,000 a month. But what you're truly saying when you set these limits is that you don't want to create more value. This mindset is self-centered, focused on personal comfort, instead of the impact you can have on others. Wealth isn't inherently evil or excessive. It's simply the physical representation of the value you create for others. The more value you offer, the more income you receive in return. It's that simple. As believers, we are called to lead in creating value, serving others, and glorifying God through our work. When we place arbitrary caps on our income, we're limiting our ability to help others, expand God's kingdom, and leave a meaningful legacy. Shifting my focus from income to impact freed me. Instead of asking, how can I make a specific dollar amount? I started asking, how can I help more people? What can I create that will resonate with them? What resources can I offer that meet their needs? My prayers evolved from financial gain to seeking divine guidance. God, help me see your people the way you do. Show me their needs and teach me how to serve them better. As I focused on this, everything else fell into place. Opportunities to create wealth became clear, not because I was chasing money, but because I was chasing impact. Wealth followed naturally as I aligned my efforts with God's will and sought to glorify Him in everything I did. This change didn't just affect my finances, it transformed how I viewed work, relationships, and my purpose. If you take anything from this, let it be this: God doesn't expect you to have all the answers or to see the entire path ahead. He simply asks you to trust Him with the next step, to use the gifts He's already given you, and to focus on serving others. When you do, you'll not only see your own needs met, but your life will overflow with blessings. Blessings that you are fully prepared to steward and share. That's the abundance God wants for you, and it's available when you align your heart and actions with His purpose. I want to leave you with a final thought. If this message has touched your heart, share it with someone you care about. Sometimes the smallest gesture, a word of encouragement, can ignite a life-changing spark in someone else. Also, be sure to check out the resources I've created to help you step into financial freedom. The Financial Covenant is a guide designed to help you build a pact with God to eliminate debt. And From Limitation to Liberation is a spiritual and practical resource to help you break free from financial restrictions and beliefs that have held you back. It's your chance to embrace a fresh financial start, and I want to walk this journey with you, trusting God every step of the way.